Let's try and take you back to KwaZulu-Natal now. Benjamin Leshoro at the funeral service and memorial service of the late Clive Barker. Benji, good morning to you once again. My understanding is that you have with you the son of the late Clive Barker, John Barker. Talk to us.
Yes, indeed, Xoli. I've got a close family member of Clive Barker's, John Barker. He's joining me now, and some of the mourners are just embracing him as I'm speaking to him, trying to, of course, comfort him as best they can. John, thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you for speaking. You're live on Newzroom Afrika. It's obviously been a difficult time for you, not just this week, but in the weeks and months preceding that.
Yeah, it has. As you guys know, my dad wasn't well for the last 6 months with Lewy body disease, and his body was deteriorating quite rapidly. And so for us as a family and all the soccer players that came to visit him, it was tough for everybody. So we now it's a relief that he's gone to a better place, because it wasn't a great last couple of weeks and days building up to his passing on Saturday morning. So yeah, it's been tough for the family and tough for the fans, the soccer fans. It's been tough for everybody.
I understand he passed away in hospital. Could you just let us know what happened leading up to that?
Yes, he had a number of heart attacks. He was rushed to hospital on the Thursday, and the doctors called my mum in on the Friday and said, listen, his body is really struggling, and there's a good chance that he won't see out the weekend. So that's when my brother Gavin came down to Durban, and we all came down. And then it happened, and he passed away on Saturday morning.
And for you as a family, you mentioned that it was very difficult. Did he respond to you guys as members of the family? Was he aware of his surroundings at home before, in the weeks leading up to his passing?
Yeah, fortunately he was. He still recognized everybody. He recognized my mom, all of us. So he never got to the point where he didn't recognize any soccer players or any loved ones. Everyone that came to visit him, he recognized them, recognized their voice. The moment Mark Fish spoke, the moment Lucas spoke, he responded to them, he knew who it was. So fortunately, that didn't happen. Fortunately, he managed to still recognize everyone and converse with everybody. In fact, the last time I saw him, I hugged him, and he was still the coach. He was still saying, because he's saying it to my kids, to his grandkids, he said, keep fighting, boys, keep working hard for the family. You know, my dad, he's the coach, he's coaching everybody all the time. And even in the hospital, the nurses and the doctors said that it was remarkable how, as sick as he was, he still cared about the nurses. He asked about the doctors, asked about the nurses. He was always worried about other people and telling them that they would be fine. Typical coaching from my dad, right till the end.
Remember the last time you spoke to him specifically?
Yes, that was the last time we spoke. Okay. I hugged him, and that's what he said. He said, look, tell the boys to keep fighting, tell them to keep working hard, tell them our family is important, and we hugged, and that was the last time I saw him.
Yeah. And then I understand you as a family, had a private ceremony earlier today?
Yes, we had a private cremation. That's what he wanted. That's what my mother wanted. And then we wanted to share the memorial and this funeral with the South African fans, the soccer fraternity. And just get everyone involved to be here to send them off.
John, thank you so much for your time, and condolences yet again from all of us throughout South Africa and at Newzroom Afrika. Thank you so much for your time. Xoli, that is John Barker. He is one of the sons of Clive Barker, and I'm going to move out of shot right now because they are starting to arrive at rapid pace, and just behind you're going to see members of the SAPS already starting to gather as well. Remember, this is a special provincial funeral, so there'll be those proceedings of the formal proceedings of the members of the police that you can expect at some point, and I'm going to ask one of the football fans that are very famous. He's very famous in South Africa as a football fan, and you'll notice that Saddam Maake is donning the famous jersey of Bafana Bafana in 1996, and one of the most recognizable faces, Saddam, as Bafana Bafana lifted that trophy back in 1996, is you with those big glasses there.
Yes. Thank you very much. I know it's a sad day, but in the other way around, we're also celebrating the life of our hero, our pioneer, our founder, the one who made us, South Africa, proud. Today we talk about national team Bafana Bafana. You will never forget about the dog himself. I was there, I was part of that. I attended all the games 1996, and we've been blessed. I remember the late Nelson Mandela was there, the late chief from, Natala. Dorichin was there as well, and Toby was there to pick the trophy. We make a mark. The class of 1996 was the best from the rest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Saddam, thank you so much for your time. We'll speak to you a little bit later. I saw Mama Joy Chauke is also here. We'll speak to her also a little bit later. Mark Williams is here. He scored that all-vital goal that won the 1996 Africa Cup of Nations, and I'm looking around for Mark Williams. I saw Arendse as well. I'm going to walk, just bear with me, Koli. I'm going to try and walk over here to try and speak to Arendse. Thank you. We're live on Newzroom Afrika. Thank you so much for your time. What a sad day, eh?
Yeah, very sad day, but having said that, we should be here celebrating his life, because that's what he would have wanted. That's the man that Clive Barker was. And we know that. You know, as players who played under him and worked alongside him, he would have wanted the happier side of things like this. And as sad as this day is, that's what we've got to do. We've got to celebrate his life.
Yeah. When last did you speak to him?
Last time I spoke to him and saw him was at his book launch. And he was in Joburg to launch his book. What a successful night that was, and rightfully so, because you know it's a story coming from a man who's literally known as the father of South African football from a coaching perspective, and that's been Clive. So that's the good memories I have, and the ones that will live with me forever.
Yeah, and those memories live with us forever also, Andre, as those who grew up watching that iconic national team. But what do you remember in camp about Coach Clive Barker? Obviously, we remember the celebration. What do you know about the man in camp at training?
Yeah, jovial. So, if you can picture this, for Clive Barker, it was always family first and football second. And that's what it was. It was family in camp, and that's what he brought to the camp. And one thing I'll always remember about Clive is how he took the time for every single person. Yes. So Clive became my very first goalkeeper coach, yes, because he took the time to come and work with me one-on-one. And that's the little things I'll always remember.
All right, Andre, thank you. I'm going to quickly steal Mark Williams here. They call you the nation builder because you scored that goal, that pass from Dr. Kumalo. You got it, first touch, goal, and Clive Barker took off in celebration.
Well, isn't that a wonderful feeling? And that's what I want to remember the coach. You know, it is a sad day of the passing, but you know, I want to remember the good things about it. That was one of the great moments South Africa ever had in football 27 years later. When I came off the bench and he told me, he didn't say much, he said, Mark, go on there, you know what to do. And that is a confident coach that knows his players. And I remember, you know, when I was running after the game crying, he was running, doing the aeroplane. And I think for South Africa that was a great moment in football history. And that's how I want people to remember the coach Clive Barker.
All right, Mark Williams, I'm going to let you go. I need to run now back to studio to Kolim Gambi. So that is the message from all the mourners here at Kolim Gambi. Sad, but celebration of life, the life of Coach Clive Barker. And that's what we'll be doing here We're slated to start, as I said, at 11 o'clock, and we'll keep updating you. Xoli.
Benjamin Leshoro, taking us back in time, and yeah, what a moment that was. Andre Arendse, Mark Williams, what a great moment that was back in 1996, and the Bafana Bafana team, as we knew it at that time, led by Clive Barker, his son John Barker, saying that he's gone to a better place now. All right, rest in peace, Clive Barker.